Hello YouTubers, RogueMonkeyJr here, and as you can see in that beginning clip, Rotterdam really looks beautiful with no HUD on. So first and foremost, a big thanks to BF Nations for providing me with the Rotterdam gameplay that I will be showing in today's video. I haven't played the Gamescom build, so this isn't actually me playing, but I did get a lot of info a little bit ahead of time. Thanks to BF Nations on everything that's going to be in the beta build, what we can expect. So the Gamescom build is a little bit different from the beta build. There are a little bit fewer things, and the beta build will also have the Arctic Fjord map, which is the map that we got to play in the closed alpha. But there is a lot of stuff in this footage that you guys will see, and so far, from what I've played and from what I've seen, the game is shaping up to be really awesome, and Rotterdam looks like a really great map, and I can't wait to get my hands on it on September 4th. That's the open beta date if you pre-ordered or have Origin Access Premier, or EA Access. And if not, you'll have access to the open beta on September 6th. So there were a wide variety of things that have changed from the closed alpha to the Gamescom build, which is pretty much the open beta build. There have been a lot of HUD and UI compression, because that was a gripe that a large part of the community that tried the closed alpha had with the game, that there was too much HUD and UI clutter. There you can see during the gameplay footage that the large skull notifications that you would get when you scored a kill on an enemy have been greatly reduced. The UI has been compressed quite a bit. A lot of stuff in the bottom left hand corner. There's now a compass on the top part of your minimap. The minimap can also be made bigger or smaller as per previous titles. You can also see that there is now the health bar around the class of your squad mates, so that's something that we haven't seen yet. The HUD can be highly customizable, as I already previously said. You can change the color of your hit markers, which will then change the color of the skull notifications that when you kill an enemy, so that's really interesting. Moving on a little bit more to the more interesting stuff in the Gamescom build, the weapon customization. So in the Gamescom build, they had access to weapon customization, so the visual customization, and not actually the one that modifies the stats of the weapon. So that will be in the skill tree, which we will get to try out in the beta build of the game. But at Gamescom, you had access to the visual customization of the weapons. Soldier and vehicle customization wasn't there yet. But as you can see, the weapons are highly customizable, and none of these parts actually affect weapon stats. The only one that obviously affects how you'll play is the sights, of which there are many. There are some for every taste. There's some long range scopes, some medium range sights, some modified iron sights, some red dot sights. Well, the ancestor of red dot sights, if we can say so, and there's a lot of weapon customization they can do from different parts, and some actually add stuff onto your weapon, like a pouch on the stock, and there's a lot of stuff that you can actually tweak to make the weapon really look how you want it to look, as opposed to having these like just weapon skins that you plaster on. You can modify all the different parts, so there's a lot of customization here, weapon wise. Of course, for soldier and vehicle customization, that'll come a little bit later, obviously when the full game launches, but you can see that there's a lot of emphasis on the customization, and I would imagine that this is all going to be tied into the progression system of Battlefield 5. So there was quite a lot of change up regarding weapons from the closed alpha to the pretty much open beta build of the game. The medic now only has access to SMGs. The assault has access to assault rifles, and the Gavir 43, which is a semi-automatic rifles. The recon class now has access to the SLR, so the Z29, I completely forget the name. It's pretty much an RSC, but in Battlefield 5. It's a two-shot kill at range, and it is very, very powerful, so it gives you the option to have something a little bit more semi-auto, rather than having a completely bolt-action rifle, which is nice, making you maybe a little bit more effective if you're playing close-quarter combat or medium-range combat, as the bolt-action rifles no longer have a sweet spot. As for the support class, you have access to, like, of course, the LMGs, the MMGs, and all of the sorts. There has also been the addition of, obviously, some lethal grenades for all of the classes, as opposed to having smoke grenades. There's also the addition of the grenade launcher, which the medic and assault have access to. Also, there is a lot more fortification builds that you can actually make, so you can build up destroyed bridges and fix them. By fixing them, I do mean that you actually rebuild like part of the bridge out of wood and metal, like beams and stuff like that. You don't actually rebuild the bridge made out of rocks and stones and stuff like that. But it's nice that you can actually rebuild those bridges as opposed to just having it broken and not usable anymore. And there's a lot of different ways to actually close off routes and choke points with sandbag walls and stuff like that, which is really nice. Makes it so that you maybe not have to look all around you all the time. The auto spotting is no more. You're not shooting at Doritos, which is great. In the closed alpha, you were pretty much just auto spotting everything. Now you actually have to look and fire at your enemy as opposed to firing at this big red Dorito on your screen, which is a very awesome change. Obviously, the auto spotting was a bug from what I've known, but it's very welcome nonetheless. Now for a few interesting bits. Right here in this footage, you can actually see the soldier jumping from one place to another and pretty much just about to fall down. But if you press space a second time, you can actually like hang on to the ledge or whatever is there for you to hang on to instead of falling to possibly your death, which is something that we didn't have in previous Battlefield titles. It was in the closed alpha, but I don't think a lot of people actually knew about it, so that is a very awesome change. Some new animations like this just make the experience a whole lot better. There's actually now another way to use your points, your squad points. If you are the squad leader, you can call in a supply drop, which will give you ammo and health wherever you are, instead of calling in a tank or a V1 rocket. And before I forget, there's now the option to actually store a medical pouch if you're not playing as a medic. So if you are running up to a medical crate that is around the world, or actually just have a medic near you and you're full health, you can actually take that medical pouch and store it for later use when maybe there's not a medic around, or you're out of the zone where there is a medical crate and you're in a sticky situation. You can use that medical pouch to actually heal yourself up as opposed to, having to depend on medics 100% of the time and always have them close or just playing around the medical crates that are around the maps. So that is a great change. There has also been an option added to the down state, so when you're waiting for a medic to come revive you, you can actually call out for revive or give up by clicking the left mouse button. That's great. It gives you a little bit more options as opposed to just sitting there if you know that there are no medics around. Also, the Comoros has been changed quite a bit. It's probably a little bit more intuitive now than it has ever been. And keep your eyes peeled on the channel for more Rotterdam footage next week when I actually get the chance to play it myself. I might live stream it as well. I'll announce it on the Discord and Twitter if you're interested in watching that. And I'll hopefully get a chance to try out all the weapons and everything that maybe I didn't have a chance to showcase in today's video. So let me know in the comments down below your thoughts on Rotterdam. If you're excited to try the open beta next week, don't forget preload September 3rd, early access September 4th, and the open beta to everybody on September 6th. There's no news yet on how long it will run. But anyways, leave a like if you enjoyed the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, as I release Battlefield and other first-person shooter-related content pretty much every day. And as always, thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good one.